This is the Farm Monitor. For over 50 years, your source for agribusiness news and features from around the Southeast and across the country, focusing on one of the nation's top industries, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by one of the largest general farm organizations, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now here are your hosts, Ray DeLessio and Kenny Bergamy.
All right, the moment of truth, that little block of time that we get to spend with you. As you can see, Kenny be off this week. Nonetheless, glad you're here, and hopefully you will be too when you see what we have on this week's show for you. Coming up, Georgia farmers once again helping to save lives with the products they grow. We're going to take you to downtown Atlanta and show you Grady Hospital's new innovation to help combat both food insecurity and chronic disease. Also on the program, after years of hard work and dedication, this FFA student is finally getting the recognition he deserves. It is a huge honor and one that's landed him in the national spotlight. And then later, it's a problem often ignored but can wreak havoc on lawns, driveways, and other parts of your property. That is why we sought out the expertise of Extension Specialist Paul Pugliese, who will get to the root of the matter. All this and more, starting right now on the Farm Monitor. Well, every year the FFA recognizes 4 of their members for outstanding work in the Supervised Agricultural Experience Program with an American Star Award. Damon Jones takes a look at one finalist in the agribusiness category that started a successful lawn service from scratch.
FFA students from all over the country have been working hard on their service projects since freshman year of high school. But few have been as successful as Will Kellum of Jackson County, which is why he has been named a finalist for the 2020 American Star Award in agribusiness.
I mean, it is a huge just pat on the back after, I've been doing this for 6-7 years now. And just to kind of get that recognition from the entire country, really, out of people my age that are running a business and doing management, different agribusiness projects, to be recognized out of everyone is just, it's huge.
Now, just getting this far has taken plenty of hard work and dedication, as each student that is even nominated for this award has put in more than 1,000 hours of service to earn their prestigious American degree.
The Star Award is only for American degree recipients. So like I said, all those people that have made it to the final step, and only actually 2% or 3% get their American degree in the FFA. It's a lot of work to get to this point. And then out of those kids that have worked really hard to get their American degree, the Star Award is only going to 4.
As for how the landscaping idea came about, it was really a collaboration between 2 like-minded friends.
It was actually me and a really good friend of mine, Alex Mason. We started it. We both kind of started as freshmen separately. Obviously, you're freshmen, you can't drive. And we were both just cutting grass. And then sophomore year rolls around, and now we can drive. And we're like, well, hey, you've got this piece of equipment, I've got this piece of equipment. If we put our minds together, our forces together, our customers together, we'd actually have a pretty stable income here.
And after plenty of footwork, the 2 grew their small operation into a thriving business in a relatively short amount of time.
That we get to say, well, this is mine. This is my money. I did this. That drove us to take it a step further, and we made business cards. We went to people's houses. We knocked on doors. We put it on Facebook saying, hey, we're cutting grass. We gained 90% every year. So 90% growth.
While the job does involve plenty of long, hot days, Kellum says he wouldn't have it any other way.
I really just enjoy the sweat of it. I enjoy going home and being tired and covered in mud and saying, wow, that was a good day at work. I am a natural hard worker. I like to work hard. But what the skills I needed to learn were being organized, bookkeeping, things like that, that really go into having a business rather than just working. There's a difference in the two, and that's what the FFA helped me do.
And this is just the beginning for Kellum, who is currently an electrical engineering student at UGA, as he hopes to use that degree and his extensive landscaping knowledge to start up a very unique business.
I see a lot of innovation in the future, specifically with robotics. What I would like to do would be on like the front lines of innovation in business. The ability to, own a fleet of robotic lawnmowers, go off and drop them in somebody's house, let them do the work. And that would definitely be the best combination of having the electrical engineer and lawn care just come together in something that would really make people's lives better.
Reporting from Jackson County, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.
All right, Damon, thank you so much. Now, meantime, in life, one of the guarantees, of course, is taxes. Don't like them, hate thinking about them. Fortunately, there are things that can be done to help with them. And if you're a property owner in Georgia, that comes in the form of a new book published by UGA meant to help landowners lower property taxes. John Holcomb has more.
If you own property, more than likely, you know exactly what property taxes are. But what you may not know is that Georgia is a state that has incentives for those that own property that can actually help lower your taxes. Understanding how to utilize those programs can be tricky, though, which is why the Harley Langdale Jr. Center for Forest Business wrote this book back in 1993 and has been updating it every few years as laws change.
Tax law is boring, it's arcane, it's complicated, and for somebody who hasn't spent 30 years of their career, following it, it can be extremely intimidating. So that's one of the reasons we wrote the book, to try to put it in plain English so people can understand it.
Here in the state of Georgia, property taxes are calculated using fair market value, a system that can prove to be a difficult one for property owners, especially with urban expansion.
So if you have a farm on the edge of Fulton County, or it's in Fulton County, and you want to continue with cattle farming there, you want to continue with row crop agriculture, you want to continue with horse pastures, and you're surrounded with golf courses and high-end developments and gated neighborhoods and all that, your property values are going to go up because your property's highest and best use is not going to be a horse pasture, it's going to be a development or an office complex or something of that nature.
And the reality is that property taxes are due every single year, which can be difficult, especially if you're someone that doesn't see an income every year.
Property tax is going to be due every year, whether you have a cash flow from that property or whether you don't. If your next timber harvest is not going to be for 20 years, you've got 20 years worth of property taxes that you're going to have to pay each and every year.
For that very reason, the state of Georgia has programs like C.U.V.A and others that actually lower the tax rate for property owners to incentivize them to keep their land, something that is important to agricultural success and important to the environment as well.
Why should we give these people a tax break? Because we're keeping Georgia green. And I think now we understand, most Georgians understand why it is important to have clean air, clean water, fresh air, recreational opportunities, hunting and fishing opportunities, a strong agricultural and timber economy drive the economy of the state of Georgia. And if you tax people off their land, that's not going to continue.
The book is available for download on the Harley Langdale Jr. Center for Forest Business's website and is free for anyone interested in learning how to navigate property law here in Georgia. Reporting in Clarke County for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.
All right, John, thanks so much. Transforming the lives of patients, staff, and visitors. That's the goal behind the new innovative market at Grady Hospital in downtown Atlanta. After the break, how you, the farmers and producers of Georgia, are helping to achieve that goal.
My name is Sam Watson, and this is Chelsea Farms, so thank y'all for being here today. And we are a grower, shipper, packer of yellow squash, zucchini, cucumbers, cabbage, eggplant, bell pepper, all your hot pepper varieties, and tomatoes. Last year alone, I think we ended up donating around 450,000 pounds to the Georgia Food Bank Association to help feed people. Just seeing the excitement in people's eyes that, I mean, you know, being hungry is hard, and you know, so when people have access and can get their hands on it, it's just makes them happy, you know.
One of the really important ways that we get healthy food here to the food bank is through our partnership with the state and federal departments of agriculture. They allow us to partner with local farmers to get really fresh, high quality produce and they allow us to feed Georgia families in a healthier way than we could do on our own.
I'm Gary Black. I'm Commissioner of Agriculture for the state of Georgia. Georgia is a fresh market state. Just very little of our product actually goes into a can. The yellow squash or the cucumber that we absolutely expect, there's an abundance of that, but there's also an abundance of that number 2. It's just not quite good enough. It's still perfectly fine. And so what do we do with that product that's just doesn't quite match, but it's still perfectly good? And so we began dreaming, how do we develop some resources? How do we network farmers together so that that product just doesn't go to waste? It's not cast aside, taken to the landfill, or taken back to the field literally and plowed in. There's a better use for that organic matter. We need to plow it into families in the state of Georgia that actually need it.
Thanks to you, to our partners at the federal and state departments of agriculture, to our farmer partners, we're able to access really healthy, great fresh produce and other agricultural products and get it to families in need across our community. You are helping us make a difference, and you're helping us grow a stronger community.
Great organization. And now they have stepped up their game even more by partnering with Open Hand Atlanta and Grady Hospital to improve patient health and to help save a lot of lives. And oh, by the way, you, the farmers and producers of Georgia, helped in making this happen. Welcome to the Jesse Hill Market, which is located on the ground floor of the Grady Hospital parking deck. Believe it or not, at one time, this space was actually occupied by a popular fast food chain. But in 2016, its doors closed for good. And so began the 5-year planning of what Grady Hospital feels will now take its food as medicine program to the next level. Gone are those greasy burgers and fries, replaced with wholesome, fresh, nutritious meals for patients, staff, and the surrounding community.
One of the things that we've really come to understand about the people that we serve at the food bank is that one of the most important negative consequences they face of being food insecure relates to their health. The people that we serve through the food bank have a variety of negative health outcomes that they're more likely to have to deal with, whether it's diabetes or high blood pressure or heart disease. And a lot of that has to do with not only not having enough food, but not having enough of the right kind of food.
We've partnered with the Atlanta Community Food Bank and Open Hand Atlanta to do a multi-pronged approach to address food insecurity and chronic disease. And our philanthropy community is over the moon. They supported us in a big way with this effort, and everyone internally is excited to have access to more nutritious foods during their lunch break and excited about the opportunity for their patients to receive the food prescription.
Now, it's important to note that in order for patients to be eligible for the food prescription program, they must first undergo screenings for food insecurity and chronic disease at their primary clinic. If those tests show that they are in fact diabetic and food insecure, then that day they can receive a box of fresh produce, which, by the way, is just the tip of the iceberg.
What differentiates us, one, we renovated a space that used to be occupied by a fast food restaurant, so that's pretty interesting. And it is really a hub for wellness, looking to serve both patients, employees, and visitors with the market component, with the teaching kitchen component that offers classes for patients, but also classes for employees, and then the food prescription program. So we're really trying to address all of the nutrition needs of both our patients and our employees.
So the folks that we're serving through the Jesse Hill Market, they're facing a variety of challenges. They obviously need help getting enough food. They're dealing with health problems. They're probably dealing with a variety of economic problems. And so to solve for those challenges. You know, they need us in the service industry to really collaborate and address all of the root causes that are leading to those challenges.
Obviously, farmers, they played a big role in providing the food, local farmers, fresh, local grown food. If Grady Hospital as a whole could say anything to these farmers, what would they say?
First, we would say thank you. Thank you for what you do every day to make it possible for us to provide nutritious food to our patients and employees. We know that times are hard right now and it is difficult for everybody. And we also want to highlight farmers in the market and help people understand where their food comes from. And so we have some great marketing ideas on how to get farmers into the space. You know, once we can have more people in one space to, you know, talk about where the food comes from and highlight the farmers. So that's certainly an interest of ours as well. And we look forward to partnering in that way.
Like I said, incredible concept, and just reminding you that if you missed any part of this story or others on today's program, you can still see them in their entirety at our YouTube channel, The Farm Monitor. A buffet of features on there, folks, so many we lost count. But know this, the archive goes all the way back to 2009. And while you're there, just keep clicking, like the Georgia Farm Monitor Facebook page. Also, send us some feedback if you got it. If you have a story idea, or if you just want to leave us a comment or suggestion, send us a message either on Facebook or at the address that's on your screen. That is news@farm-monitor.com. Up next, tree roots and the important measures you can take to ensure they don't become a nuisance on your property. Extension Corner with Paul Pugliese when the show continues.
My name's Taylor Sills. I'm the new executive director here at the Georgia Cotton Commission. I've been here at the commission for about 3 years, and before that, spent about 5 years working at Georgia Farm Bureau in the first in the commodities department and then the field services department as the young farmer coordinator. What I enjoy the most about working in this side of the agricultural industry is just working closely with growers and helping them out. And, you know, and part of what we do here is the communication side as well. We try to put our growers on a platform to help spread the good news of cotton. So we do promotional activities and educational activities, especially with school groups and local farm bureaus, 4-H clubs, FFA chapters. We do, on a given year, roughly we have about $1.5 million set aside for research that we mostly do with the University of Georgia. Cotton industry faces a lot of issues right now. We've seen increased demand from man-made fibers like polyester and rayon, things like that. We're also, the worldwide pandemic has been detrimental to the cotton industry. We have policy challenges, we have economic challenges. We face challenges in the field. Every year presents a new challenge for the growers on the growing side, and then the marketing and government parts of it have challenges as well. And we try to be here to help those growers on all fronts. One way we like to think of what we're doing here is our role is to do anything we can to help a farmer make a buck, save a buck, or improve their sustainability. Our vision is to just be an asset to our producers. Anytime that someone needs something, we're here to be of value to them and be as transparent as possible. Cotton is, in a lot of ways, the foundation of our state. We've been growing cotton in Georgia since 1733, the year after the colony was founded. Cotton, in a way, is who we are as Georgians.
Hi, I'm Paul Pugliese with the University of Georgia Cooperative Extension. As a county extension agent, we get a lot of calls and complaints about tree roots coming up in people's lawns. The first question I always ask is, well, how old is the tree? Because some trees, they get big and their roots continue to grow out into that lawn over time. This is a great example of an oak tree that's fully mature at this point, and those roots are obviously way out into the lawn. A lot of people don't realize how far the roots of a tree on a mature tree actually can go. A lot of studies show now that the roots on a tree can go as far as 1.5 to 2 times the width of the canopy of that tree. So that's a long ways. You're looking at 30 plus feet, maybe 40 feet out from this tree that the roots actually extend. And so we know they're getting into the lawn, and that causes a couple of different conflicts. For one, those tree roots that come up into the grass are going to be susceptible to being hit by lawnmowers and weed eaters all the time. And that's causing permanent damage to that tree. Every time you hit that tree, that wound is going to open up. It's going to be an open wound that can attract insects and diseases and cause decay and rot. And eventually that can actually catch up to that tree and maybe even kill that tree. So that's something that you want to prevent or avoid. A lot of people ask, well, can I cover those roots with soil? In fact, that's really not a good idea. If you put too much soil or topsoil over those roots, you could actually smother those roots and cause more damage than good. So really the best thing you can do to protect those roots is to put mulch out to protect those roots. And again, the farther out you can go, the better to try to protect them. Another issue that we see commonly with tree roots in lawns is because they are getting out into that lawn area, they can be a tripping hazard, and they're also going to be possibly coming into contact with herbicides. If you're spraying for weeds in your lawn, that tree is going to be taking up some of those herbicides over time, and eventually, if it takes up enough herbicides, that could be a stress, or it could potentially cause permanent damage to that tree as well. So these are all good reasons to try to avoid having roots in your lawn. And so you're going to have to redraw those bed lines periodically to figure out how we're going to protect those roots and incorporate that into your lawn and your landscape. So this is a great example of a smaller tree. This is actually a redbud tree that doesn't have obviously any mulch that's protecting those roots. And again, the best thing to protect a tree and to increase the longevity of a tree and to protect the health of that tree is to make sure you cover those roots with mulch. And it's something that you actually have to continue to add and replenish that mulch periodically as well. Realize too that trees get bigger. This tree is still kind of small, but eventually it's going to outgrow this space and you're going to have to expand that mulch island over time. And so I actually recommend redrawing your landscape bed lines once every 10 years around trees, because a tree 30 years from now is a lot bigger and you're going to have a lot more roots that you need to mulch and protect, because you're not going to be able to grow grass there at the end of the day, and the tree is not going to do very well in that situation. So one of the ways you can do that is to take a garden hose and lay that around the base of the tree and try to get it out at least to the drip line. And again, the further out you can go, the better for that tree to protect more roots, obviously. So we can also try to, in this case, incorporate that bed line into an existing landscape bed so it ties in nicely with the other shrubs and flowers that we have in the landscape. So once you get your hose situated the way that you want, I recommend getting some marking paint that you can get at the local hardware store and spraying out along that hose the shape and size of that bed that you want. That way you know exactly where it is. And if you have gravel or rocks or anything in there, you can dig those out. And again, get it down to just the roots and add your mulch. And what we look for is about 3 to 4 inches of mulch. And I always say any mulch is better than no mulch at all. Whether it's pine straw or wood bark or composted wood bark fines, whatever you want to incorporate into your landscape is good. But you got to protect those roots. And again, redraw those bed lines every 10 years or so as that tree gets larger. So if you have any other questions about maintaining trees, go to our website at ugaextension.com and call your local county extension office, or continue to follow us on the Georgia Farm Monitor.
Paul, thanks so much, and thank you for checking out the show. For Kenny B and the rest of the crew, I'm Ray DeLessio saying stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you next week right here on the Farm Monitor. Have a great week, everybody.